Sup players, and welcome to this video. I'm SexyCG, and in today's video we're going to actually talk about some changes that actually happened to me. So yeah, and that is also the reason for why I haven't been uploading stuff like the King of Games series. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. This is definitely a video that I didn't expect to make, but yeah. Alright, so to you guys out there that doesn't know, um, which is basically most of you, most of my channel, um, I almost gave up. So yeah, I almost gave up on the channel. So the story begins actually a week ago, basically, when I are recording this. It's the 5th of May. So yeah. Um it has been a little week ago. It has definitely been a little bit of a time ago because I needed to just give it some thoughts. So yeah. But I almost gave up on everything I have worked for on this channel. And the reason for why and the reason behind it, I'm going to just go over it in details and stuff like that. So yeah. So it all begins because I'm working on an education within that is definitely within the sales and marketing, and also trying to start my own business up. Kind of doing that. That is kind of my thoughts about the stuff, and yeah, basically just the thoughts about it. But yeah, um, I'm I'm traveling to the school that I'm doing the education at, and yeah, everything went smooth, I would say. But it's Sunday, last Sunday, or not last Sunday, but um yeah, the I can remember the date actually, but Sunday before last Sunday. Let's just call it that, shall we? Alright, so at this point, because I always travel the day before up to the school, so yeah, because it's in the other end of my country, so yeah, that's the reason behind that. Alright, so what I do is that I'm listening to on the way, I know the path now, I know the way that I need to go to get to the school. And I'm just walking there and I'm listening to music with my earbuds. So yeah. And on the way there, I see something that I think it's pretty cool. It's actually a tree. It's a pink tree. So I thought to myself, because on my Instagram right now, I want to just do more photography rather than just post silly stuff. And also a little bit of the Yu-Gi-Oh part in my life, but most of the time different photos from awesome things um, that I see around in my life. But in the moment that I basically open up the camera app, just like the one that I have right now on the that I'm using to record this video with, my entire phone just freezes. And before we continue, guys, I'm sorry if you can hear something in the background. It's a TV that is on. So yeah, but yeah, um, my phone freezes, and basically I think to myself, all right, now I'm closing YouTube, because most of the time that that usually works. But yeah, all right. So I close the app. It continues to freeze a little bit, and then all of a sudden, my phone gives the message. The system isn't responding, and then you have the options: either close all apps, or you can or you can wait. And I decide to, while still having the camera app open, I decide to just, all right, I'm closing all apps. And from that moment there, right right in that moment, right when I close the apps, my screen just turns black, and there's no response to the screen whatsoever. I cannot turn my phone on. I cannot, start anything up. But the funny part is that my earbuds are apparently still connected via the Bluetooth app on my phone, so I can still listen to music. And then my thoughts is, all right, my phone just needs to sleep a little bit. So I continue to walk up to the school. I get my key to my room, and my phone hasn't still done anything. It's still pitch black, and yeah, I can still listen to music though. So I don't know, but around 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I began to have the thoughts. All right, what the what the f is going on here? And I'm searching on Google for recent problems and similar problems, not recent. And most people just say on Google that you basically need to reboot your phone. But the problem is I cannot do that because my phone is not responding to anything. And I will say a couple of days before I took on my way to on the trip, my on and off button began just to not respond anything or to anything. I couldn't turn off my phone regularly, by tapping the on and off button on the phone normally. So yeah, and I didn't think anything about it. So yeah, but yeah, I decided to find out where's the closest phone mechanic, phone repair guy. And I saw that there was a store 20 minutes away from me, and I was like, you know what? First thing tomorrow morning, I will be going down there and deliver my phone, and hopefully they can fix it. Because at that point, all the time we have to meet at 9 a.m. on my school every Monday before whenever we start out on a new trip. And the place opens up at 8 a.m., so it's 1 hour, and I thought to myself, okay, that's actually pretty cool because that means that I can get my phone I can go down and give my phone to these people and just walk to school after that. And I did also do that. I did all of that, and I didn't do that much else. I went to school, I did my assignments and stuff like that, and yeah. And it was actually really weird because, not having a phone around, not having the opportunity of checking social media or something like this, not be able to record videos. It was really, really frustrating in some sort of way because my entire because my entire mind began to just give some thoughts. And I had to actually not to just lose my sanity, not to lose my sanity. I decided to log onto some of my old accounts, old, Facebook accounts and stuff like that, just so I had some social contact with people. And I will say, yes, I could still watch YouTube, on my, not this channel that I'm recording to, but my private channels. And yeah, but basically, the reason for why I logged onto older accounts would basically just to get some social contact with people, because or else I would probably have lost my sanity. I would have gone insane without that. So yeah, and the repair guy told me that, all right, you will get an answer from us tomorrow, and Monday. Then it would be Tuesday, and I thought to myself, that's fine. So I woke up, and the problem were that I did not have an alarm, so I had to find an online watch or ringtone on the laptop, and the laptop had to be open, on. And I was like, all right, I was trying different things, and and I tried out different things. Okay, could I do this? Could I do that? To maybe could I close down the laptop? But nothing worked. Luckily for me, my body was so stressed out, so I always woke up like 5 minutes before the alarm went off. So most of the times actually like hours before, but yeah. And then I just went to sleep, but I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't asleep. I was just, resting. So yeah, that were a couple of hard days for me. Not that I didn't like it, but the most stressful thing were that you needed to actually be awake in some sort of way. I couldn't go to I couldn't properly rest because my thoughts were that what if this alarm doesn't go off? What if I sleep until 8 a.m. where I actually needs to be on the school, be at the school, not on the school, but yeah. Luckily, it was only like 5 minutes walk away from the school, but yeah, still, it's the privilege. It's the you need to think about. You need to specifically be there at 8 a.m. So it doesn't matter that you arrive 10 minutes later. But yeah, um, so the day went fine. I did my assignment. We had a big assignment that we needed to work on because next time it's the final one. We have our exams next time, and yeah, it's the final test. It was a final test to see is there anything that you need to work on. And I will say most of my things. I will say it was fine, even though that I kind of misunderstood the assignment, but it doesn't matter to this video. But yeah, so around 12 a.m. or not 12 a.m. Around 12 p.m. I believe you say, or maybe 12 a.m. I don't know. Yeah, it's 12 a.m. Um, and 1 p.m. Around 1 p.m. I got the email from them, and they told me, sorry, we weren't able to fix your phone, and I was like, okay, but I wasn't, I wasn't sad, I wasn't shocked, I wasn't. I know I was a little bit sad because, all right, it didn't work for them. They weren't able to save the phone. But in the end, I've already, the day before, given myself all these thoughts. All right, maybe I just need a new phone. So what I did were that right straight after school, because we had school to 3 p.m. every day. So basically, straight after, I went down to the store and I got a phone reserved to me plus a cover because I'm broke. Okay, I'm broke, my guy. But the day after, I got my paycheck. So yeah, that's the reason for why I saved. I reserved the phone, and I also emailed them back and asked them, hey, can you put the card from the SIM card from the old phone over in a new phone? And he said yes, of course. So in total, it happens out that I needed to buy a new phone, and I did that the day after I went down, and I did actually email my teacher and told him, all right, there's a slightly chance that I will be 30 minutes to 45 minutes late tomorrow because my phone has been to a repair shop, and yeah. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. I will say after I got the mail, I wasn't, sad. I was not even shocked because I did have already made my thoughts and said to myself, all right, probably a new phone. And everything, I bought a new phone and had all of the trouble setting it up and starting everything up. Luckily for me, some of the apps I were using, like, I'm actually surprised, but the video editing program that I'm using to edit most of my shorts, basically all my shorts, um, it were saved on the old phone. on the old phone's SIM card, and I said to myself, all right, that's actually nice. Of course, all of the data wasn't around, but yeah, that's just something. But now to the most interesting thing, where I said to myself, all right, I'm so freaking close to just give up on this, because when I was setting all of this up, one of the biggest thoughts that I had to myself, I will say this: I didn't think that much about the social media. Yes, it was a thing that I wanted to have set up, but my one and only thought about this was, what about my YouTube channel? What about you guys out there? What about the channel that I've been uploading videos on for 3 years now? What about that? I've been growing in subscribers and stuff like that. I've been growing in views. What about that? Doesn't matter everything else, because I already have access to it. But I said to myself, what about the channel that I've been working so hard on? And I will say the reason for why I was so close, I've actually created a new YouTube channel just in case that everything just went to shit. And I will say this: I normally I don't swear in my videos, but this time might be one of the first ones, because I was insanely close to just say, fuck this. And the reason why I'm saying this is not because of any of you guys. It's not because of YouTube. But the problem were that the email that I've used to create all of this, every time that I try to log in, because the password, I've saved that in a book, but from here. But the problem were that I couldn't just get any message, because I've saved it in a book, both in a book but also on a file on my private laptop. And some of you might out there probably think, well, why didn't you just text somebody? And I will say, yes, I could do that, but then again, well, I know that it will not happen. But I will say, the codes in there, I would rather have my thoughts to just know that, all right, those codes are safe, rather than giving access to them to any other person. Because the one person that I could give, the one person that I basically could text were my mom. And I will say this: I don't really. First of all, she doesn't know what book that she needs to look in, because I have a couple of books on the same shelf. And I will say, I don't want anyone to just shuffle through all of the books that I have on my shelf, because some of them are pretty more important to me because I like reading them. But also the fact about that, well, the codes in the code book, I will say, most of the codes are not something that I have access to anymore, but still, you never know. But also on my old laptop, you couldn't get access to that. You could. It were only me, and I don't want to just text a bunch of passwords and codes to my laptop and stuff like that on a messenger. And that is also a little bit the same thing about that. I didn't want anyone to send screenshots of the pictures, because you never know. The phones are basically watching us all the time, so yeah. But it doesn't matter about the story. But every time that I try to log in with the, I will say, real password and stuff like that, my or not my the Google always said, sorry, we don't have enough evidence to actually confirm that you are the owner of this Google console. Or not Google console. Sorry, I swapped a little bit Danish in there. Google account. We don't have enough evidence to actually confirm that you're the truly owner of this account. And I was like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about it if you don't, I don't give a fuck about it if you actually believe that I'm the truly owner. I know that you have a lot of safety protocols to follow, but my guy, that is my channel, and I just want, to be able to actually access the channel. I will say, guys, I I sat there in so long, not in 20 minutes. I was about to say 20 minutes, but I sat there in like 2 hours, working, just sitting on the same page, and just thinking, holy, holy shit, man. I just thought to myself, holy shit. I was like this close to just give up. I was like this close. I was just sitting there. I sat there, and I was like, all right, holy god, that's insane. I just sat there and I worked so much. I worked so much on it, and I was like, all right. I was just like, all right. If this is the end of Sax CCG, hell no. Because I did have the thoughts, all right, do I need to actually wrap this up and start a new channel? The sad part were that, of course, I would have access to a lot of the videos because I could just record them again, record them from the channel and then upload them. But I said to myself, fuck no, I'm not fucking giving up on this. I've been working so much on it. So I said, I just grinded. I grinded for like, I believe that I grinded in total. I sat there maybe 2 to 3 hours in total. But just the fact about after saying 2 hours and access denied over and over again, you were just like, all right, should I start a new life? Basically, should I start a new channel? But then I said to myself, fuck no, hell no, hell no. I'm not starting a new channel. I would rather, I would rather give up totally than just starting a new channel. And that is also the reason for why we're so close to just give up. Like, first of all, there is so many things that you have, in mind when something like this happens, because I couldn't do anything. I didn't have access to something. But then all of a sudden, I got on the screen it said, how would you like to activate two-factor? How would you like to, get access to the two-factor authorization? I believe it's the name. Security reason. So yeah. And I had the options. First of all, I could send a message to a number that I don't have access to anymore. Then I could send a message to my current phone number, but the problem were that I didn't have access to my current phone number. Or the last one, I could send an email to my private email that I'm currently using, and I was like, are you fucking serious now? I've been sitting for 2 hours, 2 freaking hours, and now you're finally telling me that I actually can get access to my channel. How were that so hard to pronounce and just say? But yeah, I was like, what the? Do I actually finally have access to this? And then, after texting in the code that I got on my mail, I got in, and I was like, holy shit, it actually worked. Because now I've been sitting here for the past 3 freaking hours and trying to get access to my channel. But yeah, basically, guys, the conclusion of this video, I'm sorry that it has to be almost 30 minutes, maybe around 30 minutes. I would say the conclusion of this video were that I were so close to give up. I were so close to basically just say fuck all of this. But I didn't give up because I wanted to just continue to entertain all of you out there. And that is also something that I can see with my most recent short video that I've made. Thank you for all of the support on the video. I appreciate it very much. And I just have one question. Can we hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of this month? And also, I will be uploading a King of Games video. I will be doing that, and I also will return with Zack's collection. But until next time, guys, peace out.